is these give you ideas about walking. And so, going forward, I can go forward obviously with either leg. I tend to think though that that kind of footwork is more when you're in clinch or when you're fighting, because you're not, like from here, going to switch your stance a lot. I'll talk a little bit about that later, but like I said, forward and back. These ones are really important, stepping out to the angles, stepping out to the angles. This is what we call 7-star. It's a big part of the system. Obviously, I can go to the side. If I want to go to the left, my left goes first. If I want to go to the right, my right goes first. And then you have the back parts. Now, ironically, the stepping back is like one of the things we do the least. And on this one, I mean, I can certainly do this, but it's more common actually that I do this. Okay, so I don't know if at the beginning you want to just play with this for like 2 minutes, just so you get this idea. Either picture it in your mind, or if you're not had your coffee yet, I'll get this face up. But forward and come back, forward and come back. I mean, you may want to do the easy ones: side, side, back, back. Then right to go right on a 45-degree angle, left to go left on a 45-degree angle. When you go back this one, this one, balls of the feet. Not like you're up in high heels. Not that there's anything wrong with dressing up in high heels and going out like, you need a little spring. And actually, on my book, what I did was I found some of the old poems from the systems, and they actually talk about this. So, you can't say that it's just us dumb Americans with our cross-training in boxing and kickboxing that had this idea. I found traditional Chinese, kunpo, which is poetry for the system, that actually says stuff like, you have to be light on your feet, you have to have spring in your legs, you have to bounce off easily. Again, they don't think of the ball of the foot, they think of the space a little bit behind it, which is actually an acupuncture point. And they actually talk about that being, for example, when we're doing the side stances, that switching. I'm not switching on the ball with my feet, I'm switching that area a little bit behind it. And that's what they're talking about. They're saying you have to be there. I usually say to people just because it makes more sense to be on the balls of your feet. But certainly, like I said, there's a complete traditional pedigree for being light on your feet, as opposed to the idea people think of like all traditional martial arts is flat. So the treatment deal. But like I said, if we're here, if we're here, I'm not a big fan of always changing your stance, right? Because I tend to think of my fighting stance as like a fortress, and I'm ready to attack from behind those walls. So in other words, well, he's doing like all his fancy footwork and switching, right? Switching. I'm just waiting for him to switch it. You're involved in action that's taking up your attention and your energy, and you're not doing anything. Whereas I'm just waiting, bam! So, we have rules, we do break the rules as we get more advanced. There is times I'm gonna, switch my stance. But at the beginning, people just tend to think, well, I changed my foot stance, so I'm just gonna change my stance. And they just do it randomly. And nothing you do should be done just randomly. But, as soon as we lock up, right, and we're like in a clinch situation, like I said, there's times I want to step in because I'm splitting it in half, where there's times when I want to step to the outside of his leg because I'm blocking, or I'm stepping in for like that shin, so everybody knows these really cool, like kung fu-y looking side stances. There's a couple of applications for them. We'll do some kicks, I'll talk about them also, but I can also use them for, shin bite. So, from here stepping forward, like I said, is more for when you're in clinch. Otherwise, when we're detached, right, I can go here certainly. For example, if he throws a cross, I'm going here. This gives me a lot of opportunities to counter. I use it a lot of times. Boom, and while this is exposed, kick in, right? Because normally, remember, your two arms are doors, right? If the doors are closed, if they're locked, sometimes there's no point in even knocking. In other words, I'm throwing a lot of kicks, and he's using his elbows to block, and you're not wearing shin guards, your legs are going to be messed up. People say, well, in Thai boxing, you throw them over and over and over and over again. Well, there's two reasons for that. One, scoring-wise, as long as you throw a kick, it scores. People don't realize that. In other words, he can be hitting my elbow over and over and over again, but he's still winning because that's the way they score it in Thailand. But what I prefer is to be a little smarter, make him open his door, and when he does this, see how he creates that leak? I was talking about the leak, you know. If there's no leak in his defense, I can't get in. When he creates a leak, that's when I get in. So I have this angle step, 45. I have this angle step. And again, this can be used for stuff like knees. It can be used for punching, right? And you're going to see also when the 7 star is a zigzag. So in other words, the footwork looks like this, like this, like this. And so if my initial, like let's say he jabs and I sit out this way, and then I come in this way, I can do it to get a takedown. To get a takedown, I can do it also off the cross. Zig this way, zig this way, and again. So I'm talking about how you push through his center, you find his center, and he's going to tell you he doesn't have much balance there. And again, his center is here, so whether I'm here, here, or here, I know what I'm attacking. I'm attacking his center. So, forward, angle, angle. Sometimes I go to this side, right? I haven't used this one a lot because it sets up the kick to the outside of the leg. My elbow is fucked up. My other favorite one is the other side. You know what's going on. I go here, and it creates a nice angle to kick up and into his hamstring. Hamstring is stretched. What you're doing is you're kicking up and into it, so you're pulling it up and in. Hurts like a lot. So again, when we're detached, I'm going to have the angle step, angle step. I'm going to have the side. I'm going to have the side. I have side to set the kick here. I have the side to set the kick here. And I was saying that I have these. Which is the 45 on the south part of the cross. Okay? If he's a bull, like either he's just coming in or he's stepping in, and again, this sets up a nice kick. Like if he's shooting in on me, if he's shooting in on me, suddenly a hockey game breaks out. Okay, so we're going to go back to playing with this. First from a natural position, step forward, step back, step forward, step back, step to the side, step back, step to the side, step back, step out to the 45, step out to the 45, step back on the 45, step back on the 45. This last part, the 90-degree backwards, I'm going to show you a drill where we use this to go back. Eric probably seen it, right? It's a nasty little trick, and it works because most of the time we don't do this. But for now, basically, this is what you're